Whew. I don't know. I don't know why. Just like all of a sudden, it was doing fine. Like we had a streak. Some of y'all know how the DNs used to be. The fucking shit would just be probably it's supposed to be an hour and a half, but I was like say fooling around behind the scenes trying to get this damn signal acting right, but it was tripping. Probably gonna be the normally go about 2 hours. Probably gonna do an hour and a half today. It was a lady had to make sure Scotty got where he needed to get, and then they'll probably be hitting me right around that time. So I want to be freed up. Shit, if I was using the neighbor's connection, it'd probably be better than the shit that's going on now. Like I don't know what the fuck is happening, and it is frustrating. But let's get into the conversation. Let me go ahead and put the proper stuff on, and then we'll see who we got joining us here. Let me know while that's running through. Let's see what we got. Nikki motherfucking Nicole, Baker Man, T'Challa, Miss Meat. Let's see, Kenesha. Yeah, it's too many Dallas. That's probably why the signal fucked. Too many motherfuckers from Dallas up in the goddamn stream, fucking up the signal. You know, Dallas can't ever get nothing right. I'm gonna talk for an hour just because you talking shit. Only one lie. What's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. That's it beyond. Female pimp in here talking that nonsense. Momo, what's the motherfucking deal? Like I said, let me run through this and then we'll see who else I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll talk some shit, talking about some I'll educate you on some education. God damn it. But no, let's get this thing fired up, man. Let me see who I miss. Make sure I ain't miss nobody in the beginning. And make sure everybody is 335. What's the motherfucking deal? D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal? All right, so here's the deal. Let's talk about it. Education, man. But are you in Dallas? It's like, DeMarque, I ain't see you there, DeMarque. My bad, DeMarque. But see, you got Dallas energy on you. You know what I'm talking about? If you got that Dallas vibe on you, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, Giant Mess, what's the motherfucking deal? So let's talk about education. Let's talk about where the education system is currently and the future of education. And I'm a firm believer. I always say, a nugget of knowledge will get you further than college, right? And that depends, okay? That depends. It's not always true, but it can be true. Because if you can learn a solid skill, it can take you very far if it's a skill that's in demand. But we live in a day and age where more and more people are getting more and more educated. And now there's a difference between experience and education. And we can talk about, we've had this argument before. We may bring that back up later on. We'll see. But education is important. And so you say, what is the value of an American education? Well, that's where I think it gets a little bit sketchy because you have a lot of these teachers already infiltrating the schools. You have a lot of these, we already know about a lot of these campuses, these universities, and this is where a lot of this nonsense is going on, where they're infiltrating the youth and getting them to lean into this extremely liberal mindset. Some people go to school, some people get an education just to continue to avoid the real world, but that's another topic. But we see what's happening. We see where a lot of the propaganda is getting pushed, and a lot of it is in the schools. And what's unfortunate is I look at it like this. I think most people, when they are being taught something, and for a person to take something in from a teacher or an educator, there has to be a certain level of respect for that individual for you to be willing to accept their knowledge and take it in, okay? Cassie, what's the motherfucking deal? And so there has to be a certain level of respect for you to be willing to accept that information, for you to retain it. And so what you have is that these people that are going to these universities, especially these super liberals universities, you can talk about the Berkeleys and all that other stuff that's going on, they respect these teachers. These teachers tell them some bullshit. And the funny thing about it is like these educators, these professors are telling them, the system's fucked up and it's all ruined, you got to change it. But yet these professors benefit off the system, right? So that's a whole different thing. But let's talk about the value. We're not going to get into the politics of it. I'm sure we'll end up there before it's all said and done. But now people are complaining. We're not complaining, but we talked about student loans, and we talked about, people paying these things back and how much of an impact it has on the quality of life, the long term amount that you're paying, and you see a lot of the politicians now talking about, well, let's just wipe out all the student loan debt, and I understand where it makes sense, and I'm pretty much against it because I'll explain why. People say, oh, they were tricked into doing it. They weren't tricked into doing anything. Because if you went, I forgot what I saw. If you took out $110,000, I think it was 110. I don't know if it was. I can't remember if it was a semester or what it was. It was something crazy, like some crazy amount, and the degree was in like. It was a fucking retarded degree. Like, it was fucking stupid. It was some shit like, so if you're willing to pay $100,000 to go get a degree in like fucking horse tail braiding or some dumb shit, like, it was just something stupid. I can't remember. I wish I could remember what it was. It was so fucking dumb. And they were complaining about, my loans need to be wiped out because you weren't finna find a job that was gonna pay you that fucking decent amount of money for what you like. So you're stupid anyway. You can give stupid people information. It doesn't make them more intelligent. It just makes them stupid people with information. But they went and they took the $100,000, whatever it was. I forgot what the amount was, and it was either $100,000 a year or something. I forgot what it was. So they got a whole bunch of debt. But the shit that they were going to school for was retarded anyway. So it was like, even if you say you didn't even have to pay any debt, or you didn't have to get a student loan, you probably still would have been living your life in debt because this is a fucking non-functional degree. If you go get a degree in liberal arts or some shit that's just what everybody say, underwater basket weaving, these things that that you're not gonna fucking make any money off of, that's your dumb ass fault for going to college. And now you're just avoiding the real world. You know that this shit is stupid. Now, if you're going to college to get a degree, if you talk about finance, that's something I say STEM and healthcare, things that are going to be around that are going to make money, then you're invested in your future. Cool. But if you're going, like I say, to go to school just to say you're going, you don't even really, and I'm not gonna say you don't know why you're going. Of course, the part of the problem is that your teachers and your parents are go to school, go to college and get a degree, but then you have no idea what. See, these Indians, these Asians, they go, look, you go to school and you will be a doctor, and you will make this family happy because you will be the greatest doctor in America. They make them kids go to school and fucking, they make them go to school and they fucking get an occupation, a career, you know what I'm saying? And learn some shit where they're gonna make some money, and then they're gonna reinvest that money back into the family. They're gonna bring their cousins over, and their cousins gonna go to college, and the cycle continues. But, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, again, I don't know. I didn't look into the whole details. I forgot what all she. But she's talking about she got $100,000 in fucking debt and this some old dumb shit. But exactly. Go to a trade school. Go to a fucking develop a skill. Learn a skill. And that's the beauty of the internet now, because there's a lot of shit there's a lot of things that you can go get a degree in that you don't necessarily need a degree for. If you can show the fact that you have skills and you have the ability to do certain jobs, you don't necessarily need a degree for it. And we talked about the other day, a semester, I forgot what the average was, but say, 9 to 12 weeks, something like that you're spending in a college class. And let's say it's that long. And you spend about 3 hours a week, right? So you say about 36 hours that you're actually focused learning, or so should be learning on top of it. A lot of it is these professors are selling you the books that they wrote that you have to buy for this class. So they're making money on you on both sides, but it is what it is. But let's not talk about that. But they're the ones telling you America's corrupt and it's fucked up. But go buy my book for this class. You have to have the 13th edition, because the edition that we had last semester that you borrowed from your friend, well, that one's outdated. It doesn't have the right information. I changed 3 words in it, so you need to buy the new one. Yet they're telling you that everything's fucked up, but they're profiting on your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's all a bunch of bullshit. So you're taking, say, about 36 hours of actual, and it's not even learning, it's really a lot of them reading out of the book. It's not real education. It's not, and I'm not saying there's, depending on what you're taking, right? Depending on what you're taking. Imagine if you took an hour a day, even an hour and a half a day. And maybe that might be too long. You might not have an hour and a half a day. Your ass watching TV, you got an hour and a half a day. I ain't gonna talk about you, but you is. And took a month to focus. And that's not the introduction. That's you taking that time out with your bullshit and checking roll and attendance, all that shit. An hour a day to focus on a subject. And you did that shit for a year. You would become, or you could become, extremely proficient in a variety of skills that could make you money. You can get it from YouTube, you can get it from the library. I mean, if you really go and get into these books and be adamant about your studies and have some structure. Now, that's where the part can get sketchy. It's like, well, what all do I need to know? There's ways of doing that. And I'm not going to teach you that here, but there's videos on that. The problem that you have a lot of times, people say, oh, there's no information, there's no this. You people are just asking the wrong questions. If you ask the right questions, you will get the right answer. But if you ask the wrong questions, well, guess what? You're going to fucking stay stagnant. It just kind of is what it is. But let's get into it. And that's what I'm telling you. Like, you have these search engines, but the thing about it, you got to be careful. I recommend DuckDuckGo, but because Google will tell you some old shit. They'll send you to, they'll steer you that way. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, anything you want to know, you can learn. You can learn it in a fuck. You just have to have some ambition, the willingness, and ask the right questions. And be able to have a little bit of common sense. You can tell the motherfucker's fucking some shit up and when somebody actually has something going on. And you can do anything that you want to do. You just have to have a goal, and you have to be consistent about it. An hour a day over a month it will elevate your knowledge tenfold. Now, if you apply that an hour a day for a year, especially it could be, you could do you could change with the seasons. You could do 3 months of one thing, keep up on that, but then do 3 months of another thing. And in a year, you could learn, and become adept in various skills and really have some shit going on. It wouldn't take that long. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't giving y'all all the juice, but in the next few months, I'm going to be the most dangerous man on the internet. But all I have to say is that it's a beautiful thing. Anything you want to know is available. So when I'm saying all of this is now, does that devalue the education in America, right? Does that take away from the value of going to college? Does that take away from a trade school? Does that take away from going to high school? Yes and no. Because I think when it comes to careers and occupations, certain ones, there's just certain degrees you got to get. And the reason why I don't think the degree necessarily explains the proficiency that you have in a certain field, but I believe it tells an employer that, okay, this person was committed for 4 years in this craft or this field. They're going to be committed at this job. This person was willing to do 2 years and really get a thorough hands-on education. They'll be committed to this job. So I think that there's certain things that give you an advantage. But I think these days, especially if you're talking about technology, if you're talking about, anything involving the internet, anything involving phones, anything involving just computer-related trades, if you can show that you've done it, that you've built it, that you've made it, that you can take it apart, that you can reverse engineer it, whatever it is, and have proof of these things, people will come looking for you. That's just kind of how it works. A lot of people out there freelancing, doing a lot of stuff on their own within the field of the internet. But again, certain old trades are going to be dying off real soon. And AI, automation, and a lot of these things are coming. And we all know this, but people are going to be upset. Well, what about our job? Well, this is the point where it's survival of the fittest. Because imagine, a lot of people say, oh, we shouldn't have a government. A lot of people want anarchy and all this crazy stuff. If you didn't have a government, there's nobody to provide this for you. So what would you do then? But people don't think like that. They want to hate the government. They hate everything that this system has to offer. But these would be the first people saying, well, this is taking away the job. What are you going to do for me? This is survival of the fittest. It's coming to that time where you have to be prepared. And you know ahead of time. You have the knowledge. You have the understanding. It's on TV every other motherfucking day that AI, robots, like I say, automation, all this stuff is going to be happening very soon. Take that hour a day, start studying, start preparing. Be the motherfucker that fixes these problems. Be the motherfucker that can create these things. Now you have a purpose. You have a need. You know, you can help these small businesses who may want to get into it or whatever it is. It's like you just got to think ahead of it. That's part of the education. But let's open it up. I didn't talk for long enough. I'll open up the line, like I say, so people will say, you talk for 45 minutes. I ain't even get to call in. You know how y'all be doing. That's fucked up. But McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Bing pays you to use their shit. That's super funny. Bing pays you, and there's a lot of little stuff that you can do on your phone. It's not like a whole lot of money, but you can make stuff. And then when I was talking also about education, and now, especially in this day and age of social medias, I talked to y'all about arbitrage the other day, that there are people who there are kids making six figures on the internet. There's a little kid, he was 8 or 9, with a fucking six-figure bow tie company. You know what I mean? Little girl with the lemonades. So I think she just got her stuff in some major store. So the thing about it is having the ambition to believe. But the thing that's wonderful about children is because they haven't been beaten down by the world yet, and why is this on the studio? And made to believe that everything is a no-go. They don't have all those problems, so they're willing, they're ambitious, and it's good that they get those results early on. So all I'm saying is, if you have a plan, if you have a goal, if you have a desire, the opportunity is out there. It's all about how you market yourself. It's all about how you put yourself out there, and how you market your brand. But that's about business. We're going to get back to education. But the proper education and learning how to use the internet and learning certain skills. Social media marketing, that wasn't a job 15 years ago. Fucking, content creator 15 years ago, that really wasn't a thing. It's a lot of stuff that people are doing because they become educated in certain fields and certain crafts with certain equipment. They learn how to do this stuff. So that's why I say about a nugget of knowledge. These are things that you could learn in school, but why take the 4 years or the few months if you can apply consistency yourself to do that? All right, so I had to let that run through. Now, let me stop with the nonsense and let us open up the line. What's going on over here? Is this shenanigans and nonsense? All right, there we go. I don't know, man. I was fooling with it yesterday. I think I'm gonna change. I don't know. The TV's been around. I think we've been on this TV since after Christmas or the beginning of the year or something like that. Because I think I first started jumping into TV with a Christmas TV or something as a joke, for the holidays. And then I think I've been in the TV for a while. I don't know. I don't know. Might change up the television thing. I don't know. I got to think about it. I mean, I'm not sponsored by Samsung. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So the bot is not working for you. Well, I guess you need to sit down. So it's working for me. What is going on, Miss Meat? What did you do to the bot? Oh, my bot, I missed your question. Let me see what you got there. And hold on, let me do this first, because then people gonna be calling in knowing they can't hear me, and we'll be talking like we really got something going. So there we go. Look, y'all be on a bunch of words when y'all be skimming through. I don't be reading everything. Okay. So I can't call an off, so don't just call, but I do have a question. For someone who doesn't go to college, what do you recommend them to do? Kind of like we were talking about earlier, man. Figure out what it is that you want to do. And it's not always about what you want to do. it's about you got to do a little bit of self-analysis, right? A little bit of a personal audit. We talk about mental audits, we talk about, personal auditing, and that's knowing what your strong suit is, what your weak points are, and say if you are, you know I don't know what skills you may have. You could be a people person, you could be a whatever. um, and then you find something that you can do using that skill set that you can make money doing, even if it's something starting off something small. And then what you do is you build on that. And again, start studying, feel like I say, you can. And people who are getting, like you say, if you're introverted or whatever it may be, some people say, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't do this and I can't do that. Go learn about this. I mean, you can learn about it. I mean, there's videos for everything that you can. So what I say is figure out what you're strong at and what you're weak at. Spend a little time improving the things that you're strong suit, but spend time also working on the things that you are weak. Make your weakness your strength. So if it's hey, well, I'm not the best at math, or I'm not the best, when it comes to reading, or I'm uncomfortable on camera, or I'm uncomfortable meeting people, or whatever it may be, and you figure out what that is. Man, look, it's so much stuff that you can do. I got an idea that I'm planning, and this is off of seeing somebody else do it, that I'm planning for the sauce real soon. Because I saw somebody, I saw somebody else do it, and then I want to tweak the shit and add my own little element to it. But if you can be creative, man, you can make money. That's the beauty of this day and age. People want to do stuff. You just got to see what does your city offer, wherever you at, what does it offer, what is it lacking, what are things that you can introduce to people. I talked about, I'm going to lead it more into business, but education eventually is about, we're talking about value and what you're getting your money's worth. So what I'm saying is you can get a free education in a certain area, again, on YouTube, and then a part of it is going to be your own personal experience and where you learn and you adapt. But you can get a free education and make money and then grow from there. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. Use the internet for more than just world star fights. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
Yeah, let's get Honcho Cage.
Miss Cage, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
No complaints, no complaints. A little wet, it was raining a little earlier, but hey, it's neither here nor there.
Yep, that's good. But about this topic, there's so many things that are affecting like the way like work and jobs and all this. It's kind of hard to dissect it, but I will say that I went to college and I got my 2-year degree and I fucking ran. I ran, bro. I couldn't take it. Like, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. Then I went to college and I started getting preached to and being told bullshit. And I got sick. But I'm the type of person, I'm not going to start something and not finish it. So I got my 2-year and I ran. But what I will say, man, like what I said earlier, learn a skill. Learn, like, the average plumber in America is like 50 years old. That's telling you that people do not want to do these trades. There are, people in America who think they're too good to do them.
Yeah.
So fuck them. Learn the trade, and you're going to be one of the exclusive people at some point that know this particular trade. And given a lot of this work's hard work, but, let me tell you, if they keep the illegals out of this country, I'm just going to be real about it. If they keep the illegals out of this fucking country, y'all going to be able to get some good jobs that are tough, but they're going to pay a lot more money. People want to shit on people that, that collect the garbage and whatnot, but they have a decent ass wage. They get paid a decent amount of money to take out the garbage.
Yeah.
I gotta respect that. It's a rough job, and I give them even more respect because they do it. Because a lot of people don't want to do it. A lot of people feel like they're too good to do it.
Yeah.
But it's still a good job. But if you let the illegals come and take the jobs away, these good jobs that anybody could get, It's just whether you feel like you're okay with it or not. Then you ain't gonna have shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But how much of an impact do you think
you're
that has on this
entitled to it.
generation? That people don't want to do the tough jobs because everything else is being glamorized. That people don't want to do those hard working jobs.
Well, you better kiss up to the right people, otherwise you're fucked. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of people that do feel like they're too good to take certain jobs, and it's just like, I mean, I worked for a hospital for like a couple of years, and I worked in the dietary department, and most of the time I'd be, cleaning dishes. We'd serve the food. Afterwards, we're scraping it into the fucking garbage can, and we're washing the dishes, and we're preparing to serve food again. And you know what? It's a disgusting job. It sucks. It is very hard work. But I got paid way more than I did doing anything else, really. And given if I didn't have to move from New York to Pennsylvania, I'd probably still be doing that job. And you know what, man? If I would have stayed there and did that job, I would have a lot more benefits in the long term. I will say getting a job in a hospital is not a bad idea. They will set you up, with 403s, all this stuff. Like, it's good to get a job with those kinds of benefits for the long term.
That is true. Benefits are nice. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, what would you recommend?
What do I recommend in general?
No, so what would you recommend to somebody who, because somebody asked, and I'd like to hear your opinion. What would you recommend to somebody who may feel like college is not the thing for them? What would you advise them to do? If they want to try to find a career in America.
Listen to your gut, man. When people are telling you that college, college isn't what it's cracked up to be. People have actually been there. They never went to college. They didn't have the privilege of going to college. But they got together and they grinded it out, and they made their way. And they genuinely, what they wanted was for me to have a better life and not have to grind nearly as hard. And I respect that. But a lot of the older generation is telling us to go do this, and unfortunately they're all telling us to go to college. But college isn't nearly as much of a necessity today as it was when they were young. And they don't realize that, because it's like, they come from a different generation, and it's not their fault, but they are setting a lot of their kids up for failure, unfortunately. They don't realize it. They're just, rolling with the punches. But, if you don't want to go to college and you've heard all these things and you don't think it's for you, look into other things in your area. You got the internet, I'm sure. If not, there's the library. Look up any trade schools, anything, I'd say try to get involved with anything. Worst case scenario, like a big company that will, I don't know, that won't go anywhere. Like a hospital. I don't really expect the hospital to go anywhere within the next 20 years or so.
No.
Just try to be smart about what you do. I mean, one thing I will say that's worth it to go to college for is if you are a man, and this, I know this because, I worked for the hospital. If you are a man and you want a job anywhere forever until you retire, consider going to college to become a nurse. I swear to you, people think it's funny that a man is a nurse, but a lot of people don't realize how much male nurses are desired. If you move anywhere, you will be able to find a job, period, in the hospital. If you are a male, you are a nurse. It's a rough job, I'll say that, but you got a job for the rest of your life anywhere you go.
They need somebody strong to pick up those bedridden patients.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, like some people, especially you work in elder care, get those people out of bed. Takes sometimes It takes most of the time 2 or sometimes three women. It's not an easy job, man. And if you're a male nurse, even if you're a female, and you want a job for the rest of your life, man, there's always going to be hospitals. There's always going to be nursing homes. There's always, and given they're rough jobs, I'm not going to lie to you, but you will always have a job. Always going to be a hospital somewhere.
I might get into the male
That's
nursing
one
business.
thing I recommend. You know,
I mean, and the clothes are comfortable.
Most things might be bullshit, but I'll give you a tip. That's definitely not bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and, that's the thing, because people are always going to be sick. Yeah, even with all the advancement in technology and all the advice in the world, people are going to do whatever they want to do. So you're always going to have people in these hospitals. They're always going to be around. So that's definitely a career that you can count on being here to stay. So
yeah,
I definitely agree.
And one thing I will say, the shittiest thing about college, and this is from, what I've been through, what I've seen. And I've seen that colleges do not prepare you to become an entrepreneur. They don't. They prepare you to still answer somebody for the most part, unless you're becoming a lawyer. And most people are not becoming lawyers. They don't want you to have your own. They just want you to fit into, they want you to fit into the mold. It's just like, why do you have to do that? Why aren't we, like, honestly, I'll admit it. I'm a millennial. I went to school. I went to college. I learned no fucking skills. I don't know anything. I'm a relatively somewhat intelligent person, but I can barely fucking boil an egg. And when my mother went to school, they did classes on cooking. They did classes on, like, sewing and shit. So, I see her making curtains in the house, and I'm just looking at this shit like, how the fuck do you do this? She's like, well, I went to school and I learned this, and my aunt taught me knitting, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, school doesn't teach you dick. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad that I went to a relatively good school, considering, the other schools that are out there. I didn't learn anything. I have no skills. I'm a fucking loser. I have to make the best of what I got. I'm trying to learn how to cook now. Don't be me. I mean, as far as, like, I'm the type of person, I will go on the internet, I will search for information. I'm constantly open to finding knowledge. Be me like that. Don't be me by not learning any skills. I'm trying to make up for this now, given I'm still young, but I could have been having a better head start on this kind of shit.
Well, man, as long as you have the willingness and the mentality to approach it, because you got some people who may fit all the other categories. They just like, hell no, I'm not cooking. I got DoorDash and Postmates, and there's all these places around. I don't ever want to cook. Like, so there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you got to start somewhere. And again, that's the beauty of the internet. Like you said, you can go find all the information you want. And
exactly, man. The internet has essentially, in a way, made college so much more useless than ever. It's just like college is a huge propaganda machine. It really is. It's like everyone's telling you have to go. If you don't go, you're a fucking piece of shit. I mean, that's just literally how it is and what you're told. And it's a lie. And really, man, what colleges do is not only do they feed you, like, propaganda in general, but, you're sold this idea that I want to go to my dream college. I don't care if I'm going to be $250,000 in debt. It doesn't matter, because I'm doing my dream. And it's just like, why do we think, in any other given situation, why... Like, we think that, we can't afford this, so we're just not going to get it. That's just what it is. That's a part of life. Yeah. Why is it that with college, people just have this insane mindset that all logic and reasoning goes out the fucking window? I don't get it. And then you go to college, you end up $250,000 in debt. You're not paying this shit off anytime soon. The young people aren't buying houses. They're not buying cars. They're not doing You're not getting all the things that they should be getting right off the bat. Half of them can't even get jobs pertaining to their fucking degree.
Man.
That is, you have to hold colleges accountable for this shit. When the government got involved in the loan business, that's when these colleges went to shit. They just decided to start spending money on everything to get tax breaks and all this other shit. And they're completely just destroying people's lives. And then when they realize that they can't save a goddamn dime because they're in this enormous amount of debt, they turn to socialism. They do. Because they're literally saying, I can't hold on to any money at all, so why don't I just give it all to the fucking government anyway?
Yeah, that's a scary thing, how many people are turning to the socialist mentality and thinking that it's going to work, that something different is going to happen here that hasn't already taken place in all these other countries that have
it doesn't work. It's proven that it's a failure. Communism is also proven it's a failure. All you have to do is look in history. Stop listening to fucking clowns that say, oh, well, that's a different type of socialism. There are tons of different types of socialism. Karl Marx didn't agree with, other self-proclaimed socialists. They all had their own idea of socialism, but it's all been shit. It doesn't work. So, given right now there's a huge problem, and it's not being addressed. And that's why things are going bad right now. But, if these things manage to get fixed, things will be so much better. And socialism, it's just like any country that has successfully established socialism to some extent had a form of capitalism beforehand. And then most of these countries, they got successful with a capitalist mentality, changed to socialism, and now they're going on a very slow decline.
I agree.
That's just how it is.
Why do you think other people can't see that? Are they just so blinded by their own situation and circumstance that they just refuse to acknowledge that socialism just does not work? They think it's an outlet for them, or what do you think?
Well, they just depend on a lot of anecdotal situations. Whenever I bring up a common sense argument to someone who doesn't agree with me, they just bring up a bunch of shit that's just anecdotal, and I'm just like, well, here's 5 anecdotal examples I have to where, things don't go as it should, but it's still anecdotal. It's just situational things that unfortunately do happen. The world's not perfect. We're going to have kinks and everything. It is what it is.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Ms. Cass, anything else that you would like to add to the conversation about the value, or maybe a suggestion for people if they're looking into something different? Maybe they're looking for an alternative route to continuing education or anything like that?
Well, do research, man. Do research. Look for things that you like to do. Just things that are realistic, things that you like. And if you love these things, pursue them, man. If you want to go to college because you have a mindset of what you want to achieve and that's the route to do it, do it. I'm never going to tell someone don't do something that they're truly passionate about. Because at the end of the day, if they do succeed, and not everyone succeeds, that's just a fact, but if they do succeed, these people end up happy doing what they love, I would hope, But even so, you got to try, but do research, find all types of things around you, man. I constantly, look online and I'm looking at shit, and, things that I never thought, that were around me, So, don't think that there's nothing there,
No, I agree.
Just, you gotta spread your wings, man. You can't just stay stagnant. I think that's the biggest problem, is that people are just stagnant. And right now, I'm in a form of stagnation, but it's kind of a situation where I don't have a choice. But once that situation fixes, man, I'm be out there. I'm kind of looking right now, I'm trying to see what's up for now. Because once everything is said and done, I'm out.
Okay, and that's the best thing I think to pre-plan. If you know that things are going to be changing in the future, start laying a foundation or come up with a blueprint, a game plan now, so that as soon as it's good to go, shit, make it shake. All right, Miss Cassie. Well, I appreciate you calling in, getting the party started, and I always enjoy hearing from you, Miss Cassie. So I'm glad you called in today.
Yeah, sure. I always enjoy calling. I don't get the chance to all the time, but I do enjoy it.
All right. Well, I thank you. Appreciate it. And hopefully hear from you soon.
All right, take care, man.
All right, you too. Have a good one. Shout out to Miss Cassie. Again, greatest name on Twitter, @Mario Kart. That is awesome. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Top of the afternoon to Honcho Jason S.
Jason S. Is this the groomer? No, I'm just fucking with you. What's going on, Jason? What's on your mind today, man?
We're talking about the American education system.
Si, senor.
Would I be considered crazy if I said that I think that the internet has pretty much been better than that? Well, not better. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I think internet has taken over the American education system.
Really? Okay. And in what way would you say that?
I mean, I'm trying to. Fuck me. Shit, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry, I'm a bit frustrated right now. God damn it.
I don't know. I don't know if that was a 1,000 pistachio call, but I'll break Jason off with a 500. And you got it started. I don't know exactly where he was going with that, but he made a point, so we'll go from there. Shout out to Jason S, man. Hopefully you got that other put the dogs to work. Got that situation with the mousetraps handled. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Man, shit going around.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind, Roman? How are you feeling this afternoon about the value of the American education?
Oh man, first of all, man, I hope everything's okay, Mr. Rabbit, bro. I don't know what was going on, but man, about this American education. Okay, so let me break this down for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I've told you multiple times with me, love history, love to be a historian. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you know what historian is? You know what you need to be a historian? You need a master's degree.
Man,
So, and that's, well, of course, one of the top degrees to get. It's a lot of work. But no, my history skills, how much I love and put my soul and heart into it, I know I can do it. It's not that I don't have the self-belief in myself. I know I can do it. I'm going to bring this all together, Honcho.
Okay.
But, you know, it's kind of like what's her name said before me. What's her name?
Miss Cassie? Cassie Cage?
Yeah, Cassie. Shout out to her, man. I like her point. It is a big money scheme, man. It is, man. These colleges are not dumb, Honcho. They have to pay money for these students to get here. They don't want to pay scholarships. They would rather you be broke than pay your ass. They don't want you to go. Why you think? Let me break this down to you, Honcho. Look at all these acceptance rates that I learned. These are the top colleges that I just researched. That these acceptance rates. These are colleges everybody want to go to. Stanford 1.5 acceptance rate. Harvard 6% acceptance rate. Yale 6.3 acceptance rate. These are main colleges that they always talk about, Honcho. Brown University 8.7 admissions rate. Rice University here in Texas is a 13.5 admissions rate. Duke is 11.5 admissions rate. You know, it's a money scheme. You know how hard it is to get into these colleges. Georgetown is a 17.4 acceptance rate.
Now real quick, I don't mean to interrupt what you're saying, and I get where you're going with it, but you realize a lot of these colleges that you mentioned are Ivy League colleges, so these are like some of the toughest colleges
hold up, Honcho.
to get into. Okay.
I get what you mean. I get that these are Ivy League colleges, but these are the colleges they push. These are the colleges a lot of times you need to get to the professions I'm talking about. You
Man, look.
no, hear me out here. Hear me out here, bro. These are the colleges they push.
Okay.
I'm just saying it now, bro. They don't push these smaller colleges on people. It's even harder to get jobs with these smaller colleges, bro. It is. When you're talking about professional with me, I'm talking about historian. I say I have a degree from ACCC. 9 times out of 10, bro, or let's say I got a degree from Rice University, and the other side, I got a degree from ACC, right? They gonna take me if I have a degree from Rice University from a fucking ACCC. I bet you, because I did the research on that. With lower or even community colleges in the field I'm talking about, it's a 50. It is, I think, a 76% chance they don't even accept you because they don't think you know what you're talking about, nigga. It is a scam, bro. These colleges don't play. They don't want you to get into that money. They don't, and that's why socialism wouldn't work, man. They want to be privately owned so they can get all the benefits and money. The thing is, you run a socialist way that's giving money to everybody. It just ain't gonna grow. Free colleges, man. Then these colleges can't fund themselves. They can't make the natural growth to even bring in students that they don't want to bring in. In a way, bro, it just don't work. So coming back to me, the thing is, Honcho, I don't know, man. I'm in the fuck hole, to be honest with you, because I'm about to go to what 10th grade, right? The thing is, I got work. I mean, hella hard to even get into a great college. You get what I mean? I'm talking about being being a historian, right? But the thing is, my family got the most of money, so now I'm looking at, damn, I gotta find a way to get myself a solid job, even if I have to pay off student loans, because it's a 50-50 chance if I'm even could be qualified to get a scholarship. You get what I mean? So that's another thing to why college is so just a scam, and that's why I want to go, but in a way I'm like no, because many great inventors, you can, if you in today's world, you do not have to go to college to be something. That is false. You can do something without college. Is it harder? Yes. But many, you can be creative and not go to college. It's impossible to make money. It's just all about thinking and thinking hard at it. You know what I mean? So, it's okay. Is it a harder thing to do? Yes, it is. But is it impossible? No. If I look correctly, could be wrong about this. I don't think Steve Jobs went to college. He created Apple with wall stack in the motherfucking garage.
Steve Jobs did.
So,
I can't remember. I can't remember if he went for a little bit and quit.
well,
I'll
say that. These okay, you got me on that. He did go, but he quit.
Yeah.
The thing is, and to anybody else, Steve Jobs has been a failure. Oh my God, you're an idiot. You quit college. You quit where to make easier money. This man went in a garage to make Apple. Apple was, I think, one of the only companies worth $1 trillion, if I'm correct, on its way to being worth $1 trillion. What does that take?
See, I'm following the Apple lane. Apple started in the garage. The DN started in the garage. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm trying to follow the Steve Jobs. Now. But here's my thing, though.
And then yeah. And then you know about that. Steve Jobs got fired from like his own company.
Oh yeah.
And then they had to bring him back because Apple was doing horrible.
Oh yeah.
And then even with that, he got funding from his biggest competitor in Bill Gates, and to become Apple. He did. When Apple was funding, Apple needed funding because Apple was struggling after they rehired Steve Jobs. Yeah. And so Steve Jobs they was low with money because they wasn't selling all those computers and were doing horrible. He had to go and ask one of his arch rivals, even though they were good friends, but they were competitors. Bill Gates gave him, I forgot how much money, but he gave him a settlement. He gave him money to help start Apple again. You see what that means? Two of the smartest minds of all time came together to help Apple. So what my point is, I'm not saying don't go college. If you have the financial support and you have the heart to go to college, go. But I say you feel like you can create something and you have the bright mind to do something man, go do it, man. Take a risk. You gotta take a risk on life
Yeah, but
sometimes,
you
man.
gotta be I mean, you gotta be passionate about it though, because these men had
I agree.
obsession, they had passion, they had like it was. You have to have a vision, and it's a lot of people that say, "I want to do this, I want to do that," but they don't necessarily have that passion, that obsession that goes behind it. I
You
mean,
know,
if you look at these type of people, because you have a lot of people say, "I want to do this, I want to do that," but then they don't want to. They don't even want to break the mold. They don't want anybody to look at them a little bit differently. These people didn't give a fuck. Like they felt like they had a vision. People said they were strange. People said that they were tripping. You got too many people nowadays who are worried about how their friends and family gonna look at them, so they don't want to upset them because they may look at me a little funny. So I don't, and they gon', when people
I
start
agree.
to detract from them. But the thing I want to ask you before you got off the line though, did you hear about the historian in Baton Rouge, the African American History Museum in Baton Rouge? The lady was found in the trunk.
Oh,
How
oh
do you-
yeah.
I know you're a history guy, so I was wondering how you felt about that.
Hunter, that story I read up on that, man. That disturbed me. It really did, bro. Because if I'm gonna look correctly, they really don't show really have the cause of death. Foul play has to be. It has to be foul play if somebody ends up in a trunk. It's no way. She just didn't die in her car. Even that's foul play. Or she died in her home. No, she's in a trunk. I mean, I'm thinking, bro. I look at this and it's like it hurts me that I just believe 100% it was done by another black person. I just don't know. Something's telling me that.
Mm.
And but yeah, I do. I
What?
think it was some issue. What you say?
No, I was asking why you feel that way.
I know, Hunter. This is going on feelings, man. This not going on any fact.
Mm.
The thing is, I just have a weird feeling that some black people we don't appreciate our history. And what I mean by that, we don't appreciate it that we can learn from it and we can grow from what we know. A lot of our people don't even know our history, our real detail. We only know just the basics that they teach us, but we don't like to learn the detail and the real core of it. And I think a woman that was preaching positivity and preaching like this and preaching history for black people to educate themselves, become better citizens in the United States. I just have a feeling they weren't rolling with her, man. And some issue, it's probably over some money issue most likely. And bam, she dead like that, man. I don't know. Like I said, I have no facts on this. So no, anybody say, Roman, how you get this from? This ain't none factual. This is just what I feel. I just feel like we don't want to learn our history. Black people are so stagnant, and I think we'll rather stay ignorant because it's just cool to be ignorant.
I'm gonna tell you something, Roman, and I agree with you on that. I was talking to my old lady about it yesterday when I saw the article, and I don't know necessarily about some money, but I'm gonna tell you why I do believe it was. I saw a bunch of people on her thing, because the lady who originally posted on Facebook, and they said, "Oh, it was a white person that did it." I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe it was a white person that did it, because this museum, if I'm not mistaken, has been around since 2001. And
Yeah,
so that's
that's
about 17, 18 years. If they wanted to do something, they'd have been done it. This is Baton Rouge, and we know Baton Rouge is not it's not as safe as Disneyland, okay, if you will. But the thing about it was, this woman also worked with the police, and she did a lot of stuff in the community. You know what I mean? So she was about trying, clean up the streets and do stuff like that. I would not be surprised if she may have passed along some information, or knew something, may have said something, or somebody suspected her of saying something to the police about some kind of activity that was going on. And somebody put this woman in the trunk, probably not even knowing what she did in the community, just knowing that somebody said, "Oh, that lady snitched," or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised. I do believe that it was somebody black that did it. Because people talking about, well, they just trying to keep us from our history. If that was the case, they'd have done that damn near 20 years ago when it first opened up. I don't think they'd have waited 18 years to offer for something like that. And I think that's sad and unfortunate, but that's just my feelings on it.
Yeah, I think it's just hot. I think black people that keep positivity, man. I do think, especially white people, keep tabs on that. I do agree with that now because I do think, to a lot of racist and bigoted white people, I think a black figure that promotes black excellence and real black excellence. I mean, by cleaning up streets, getting jobs, seeing families. I don't think that's just ideal for a lot of white people that feel like that, but we hate on each other, man. People forget Malcolm X was killed by the Nation of Islam, the people he preached for. No, yes, the government had tabs on him, and I'm not saying J. Edgar Hoover, old racist faggot ass, was watching him. You know, but he got killed by his own kind. You know, Martin Luther King had some haters. People forget Martin Luther King had 2 assassination attempts. The first one was by a black woman.
Yeah.
So we hate on each other when we hate on ourselves when we preaching positivity to our people, man. That's gotta stop, man. Because when you preaching, Nathan Nixon got killed by his own people. You preaching to clean up streets, to fund for black education, for fund for black wellness, for families, and we hate on each other because we're not with the rest of the shit. That's sad, man. But I'm hurt to get off this line, man. I've been talking too long.
All right, well, that's a bedroom, man. I appreciate you calling, man.
Man, anytime.
No, really.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's get 1 or 2 more calls in. I'm gonna pull up at 3 because I gotta go get Scotty. I just got the notification. You know, I can't leave my dog just hanging like that. Literally. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this afternoon?
What's good, Honcho? This prepaid.
Prepaid, man. What's the motherfucking deal, prepaid? What's on your mind about the education topic
Man,
today?
Man, you know, when you switch to 1 o'clock, this shit hard for me because I get back from lunch. You know, I don't do shit after work, after lunch. I be in here acting like I don't be doing nothing, and I be in the motherfucker sleepy. It's hard for me to focus. So, but, man, kids, y'all stay in school. Don't be like me. But, too many people, I hear this rhetoric so much. And before I go on my rant, I want to say this. It is fucking embarrassing, Honcho, that me and you know people our age, and Roman is smarter than people our age.
Absolutely.
It's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is fucking pathetic that Roman is smarter than people that are our age. And for those of y'all who are older than Roman, y'all fall in the same category also. Roman is smarter than people y'all age also, and it is fucking embarrassing. So for those who don't value education, something is going right because that motherfucker's smart.
Yeah.
The nigga don't even have a mustache and he's smart, and it's kind of scary. It's actually kind of scary if you think about it. So it's a lot of self-evaluating should be going on. But you know, I hear people say all the time that, well, college ain't for everybody. Wake up, college wasn't fucking for me neither. Who in their right mind wants to wake up every day? You've been going to school for the last 12 years, didn't take a year off. You then go to a place where you have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to a class where you have zero interest in. Of course it's not for you. I hated college. You make me take courses that I don't fucking need. I was an English major. Hated it. I have a double major. English and journalism was my undergrad. It was horrible. I didn't start liking college until my junior year when I actually got into like my degree field. Or sophomore year, whatever year it was, shit was trash. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that college teaches you something that the real world is never going to teach you. It's telling you, it's giving you the precursor of how life is going to be. You're going to have to do a whole bunch of shit at your job that you don't want to do. You're going to have to put up with a whole bunch of bullshit that you shouldn't have to put up with. That's what college is teaching you. It teaches you determination, sticking through to this shit. That's why you have to value college. It's so easy to say, college ain't for everybody. You know who's always saying that shit? Niggas who never went to college. How you going to tell me it ain't for everybody if you ain't never even tried? Now, I tell people that to say this. I got my master's degree in 2010. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 9 years already. That was the easiest fucking thing in the world. It's simple. Took a year and a half. I graduated number 1 in my class, and it was the easiest thing I ever took. Number 1, I wanted to get my MBA. I wanted to have my master's in business administration. I needed it, and the shit was simple. I was intrigued. I wanted to learn that shit. If y'all would just go to school, and it's anybody who's younger than me, if y'all would go to school, stick it out, get your bachelor's degree, and get your master's, I promise your outlook on life is going to change completely. Everybody went open the business. You have no business acumen. You don't wake up one day and decide you're going to somehow open this amazing business. You have got to have some type of structure. You don't have any entrepreneurs in your family. You have no entrepreneurs around you. You're not going to somehow recreate the wheel. Everybody want to go buy a law firm. I tell all my friends this all the time. Everybody want to go, we call it hanging the shingle. Everybody want to hang their shingle on top of their building. That's a law firm. They buy all this fucking furniture. They buy all these TVs, all these MacBooks. And they forgot the most important part, Honcho. You got to pay for all this shit. How do you pay for all this shit? How do you keep people coming inside this door to where, motherfucker, you can afford to pay for all this shit? You got to go to school to learn this skill set. Now, I'm going to tell you when I learned that college was for me, when I had to go. When I was around 16, my uncle does, I don't know what it's called, like PC pipe welding or some shit like that.
Yeah.
PIC pipe welding. You know what I'm talking about in the plants where they do that welding and shit.
Yeah.
They had like a career day. He took me to that shit. I was there for 30 minutes. First of all, it's too motherfucking hot. I got this big ass suit on. And they doing this fucking welding shit, bro. And the suit I got on probably weigh about 20, 30 pounds. I can't see shit. I'm trying to weld with him. I can't see nothing because all these fucking sparks and shit is flying up. Then he tells me that we not actually practicing. We welding a real life gas line pipe in the chemical plant.
Yeah.
I almost shit myself. Ain't no fucking way I can do this job. And this is a person who's been doing this welding shit for the last 30 years. People who don't want to go to college, that's a skill that you have to acquire. He told me he started off doing I forgot what it's called, but basically, before you can weld, you got to be the person who does the drill bits. You pretty much come to work every day, you just hammer on drill bits the whole day. Yeah. Do you know how fucking boring it got to be hammering a fucking drill bit for 12 hours out the day? Man. And that's how you learn and then move up. You need to go to college because majority of people in the world don't have any work ethic. You're not finna get up and go work in no hot-ass plant. It's 100 degrees outside. It's 130 degrees and 140 degrees, and you got that big-ass suit on. Majority of people don't have that type of work ethic. If you don't have that, you need to go to college. You need 4 years to go out here and find yourself because you don't have the skill set. You want to become a plumber? Well, what work ethic? If you're not panning out at Taco Bell and you feel like chalupas is too hard, I'm going to be real with you. You're probably not going to be a successful plumber. Because septic tanks fuck up all the time, bro. They fuck up all the time, and you don't want to go out here. You're literally dealing with shit. Not shit, I mean feces, as in shit. So it ain't for you. It ain't for you. We have got to stop pushing people from college because the fact of the matter is, well, it ain't for everybody. What's for you then? Well, I kind of do hair. Well, is you kind of going to get a cosmetology degree? Are you kind of going to become a barber? And let me say this. People need to learn what lean times mean, okay? When you come out of law school, you don't graduate, pass the bar, and then take on these big-ass Fortune 500 companies to get these big-ass cases. You got to build your way up. I had lean times, my nigga. It was a whole lot of turkey sandwiches for lunch and dinner. It was a whole lot of water. It was a whole lot of chips. Shit, majority of my meals getting started out didn't have chips with them, bro. I'm just being real with you. It's lean times, bro. A whole lot of beautiful things I was able to afford. Now I couldn't afford it at first. I ain't have all this high internet, Wi-Fi, and all this shit. Man, I was using that shit at the office because I couldn't afford it at my house at the time. Now, it didn't take me long. I'm not going to front with y'all. I ain't going to say I struggled with that long. It didn't take me long to get where I need to be. But I'm just saying, like, you got to understand that's a part of that grind. Yeah. People want to cut hair. Okay, cool. You're a barber. You're making cash every day. You make $300-400 a day. But are you ever going to own this building? How you going to own this building when you go and you make $400 that day, you spend $350 in the club that night? It's a whole lot of barbers, but how many people actually own their barber shop? The physical building. How many people are getting paid for the rent of the booths of those buildings? That's the problem. That's the problem. You got to learn how to own something. Everybody wants to be this magical business owner. Every black woman I know want to open a fucking boutique. You know how many boutiques they got? Come on, man. Come on, man. You have got to value education because education is going to put you where you need to be to learn the type of skills to do these type of things. People don't even know how to build equity. We have people call all the time talking about, like, home ownership. And the crazy part about it, Honcho, people call and talk about, the white man took us, we can't get a home and all this stuff. You can tell that people in their family never owned a home. Because people don't even understand the concept of equity. A lot of people are not successful when they go to college and they come out of college, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Y'all are too busy trying to build your empire by yourself. The reason why what they call the baby boomers, the reason why the baby boomers were so successful when they went to college is because when they came out of college, they got married, y'all. Two incomes are going to always be able to beat one income. That's how this concept works. If you come out of school, if your wife graduates in January, in the spring, and you graduate in December, she's going to be making a little bit more money than you are. Now, you can lean on her, and she can lean on you when you come out of school. But we don't understand that concept. You cannot build an empire by yourself. And if you do it by yourself, you have all my respect in the world because it's damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible. when you get your master's, you're going to have real life bills. You're going to either have a mortgage / rent. You're going to have car note. You're going to have insurance. You're going to have a cell phone bill. These are necessities. Now, majority of people feel like Wi-Fi is a necessity. You got to have Wi-Fi. You got to have these things. So how was you going to build that with just your income? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? When I got my master's, I was doing investment banking. I did private investments. I hated my job. Had no interest in it, but it paid the bills. And every time I would come to work, it would be the saddest look on their face. They would come in there, and people would come in there and they want a small business loan or they want a home loan. And I'm just looking at them like, ma'am, you got a 520 credit score. You don't qualify for any of this stuff you got me here for. I don't even know why I'm meeting with you. You're 45 years old, and you barely got a 500 credit score. But at the same time, I was doing what I had to do, and it taught me a lot about life. There are so many people who are way older than me, and because they don't have the education, they don't understand how majority of shit in the world actually works. So a lot of y'all need to stick to school, because a lot of things in life that you don't understand, you're going to learn that shit in school. You're going to learn that shit from your classmates. You're going to learn that shit from seminars while you're on the college campus. Now, there are some people who are going to tell me, school ain't for me. I'm a terrible student. Well, guess what? You had 12 years to know you was a terrible student. Why are you going to graduate and not know what the fuck you're going to do next? How are you surprised to tell me that college ain't for you? You knew this already. You know how to build shit, bro. You need to find a way to be a motherfucking carpenter, or shit, at least a handyman or something. At least a handyman can feed himself. You don't have any skill set. You have a skill so you can fix things. Do that. You may not be an engineer, but at least you can somehow feed yourself. So many people are being blindsided by the fact they ain't good at something. Well, duh, you're not a good student. You barely graduated high school. Of course college ain't for you. Come on, wake up. And I feel like that's the problem with the American education, the value of it. With the way our education is set up, you know what you're good at. I am pathetic in math. If you want to give me some money, a percentage, a temperature that's outside, I can measure all that shit for you. You used to talk about these, what they call polynomials and all. Man, I don't know how to do that shit. The fuck that shit's not real to me. That is not a such thing. All these fucking A squared and B squared, man, there ain't no such thing, y'all. I don't understand that shit. I'm what you call a logical thinker. If my light bill costs $175 and it's due on the 15th, either I'm gonna have $175 today or won't be no PlayStation tonight. There ain't no variable. There is no X. X is not real. So I don't understand all that shit. There ain't you can move X. Ain't no X and Y. Ain't no variables. Either you got the money or you don't. That's how my brain works. So when you got me in calculus and trig, man, yeah, of course I'm struggling with that shit. I don't understand none of that shit. But you have got to know your skill set. You have got to know what you do and don't know. You know motherfucking well you took English 3 5 times. You can't try to go to college and have an English degree. It's not for you. But you gotta stop acting surprised when things don't turn out how you want to when you're dealing with the education system. You gotta stop. You just gotta stop. Like that, we gotta get past that point. We gotta get to a point where people can stop acting like they didn't know. I mean, I gotta get done with school and I tried college, but you know what I'm saying, just wasn't for me. Well, in high school you had a 1.7. So what was you finna go in there and do? You cannot recreate the wheel. You cannot recreate the wheel. And when I talk about college, I'm talking about you can go to, bro, I don't care where you go, bro. Just get your degree. No. It don't really matter. I know Roman said that, Roman, listen to me. Take a person who has his degrees, bro. When you got the degree and everybody got the degree, all that's going to matter from there is who got the most experience. Don't let nobody tell you need to go to Rice University to get a high-paying job. No, you don't. No, you don't. Get somewhere that you're comfortable at, somewhere that's going to keep you out of debt, bro. Go to a college that's going to keep you out of debt. If you got the grades and you got the finances and the resources to go to Stanford, by all means, fear the tree. If you got good grades and you comfortable at home in the city of Houston, go to U of H. I promise you're going to land on your feet. I promise you will. Go to TSU. Go to PV. Go somewhere where you can be comfortable, man. But the most important thing is, as Americans, stop saying that we ain't built for this, that this ain't for us. That's the most important thing, bro. You got any questions for me, Honcho?
Man, no, I think you came down and laid a solid foundation. I got nothing else to ask or add to that.
All right, man. Like I said, bro, I got stuff falling asleep after work. Y'all don't be like me. Ate this heavy ass lunch, and then I'm just out of it. I'm falling asleep. I done closed my door to my office. Told them don't come in here. I'm sick. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just sleepy. I'm just trash, bro. I'm just trash. I gotta work on myself. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed.
That's the bet prepaid. Appreciate the call, man. That's funny. Hey man, sometimes them midday lunches get you. They get you. That's what I say. I ain't gonna lie to you. I fucked up the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna take one last call, and I know somebody been trying to get in for a minute. So I look, me. I pull up, I call them. Goddamn, I ain't got no shame. Cause then I gotta go get my nigga Scotty, man. I ain't gonna keep him trapped up. I ain't gonna keep my nigga locked up like that. Oh. Okay. So look, I was calling you, man. What's the motherfucking deal? We got calling into the DN this evening.
You got teacher's assistant trill today.
Okay, TA Trill in the house today. What's on your mind, TA Trill?
First of all, first and foremost,
okay.
Professor Trill told me something. He said you got to stop knocking his hustle and selling his book to his students. He needs to cut that shit out. You can't be exposing niggas like that.
Hey man, look, at least let it go 2 semesters. You don't need a new book every semester, man. Look, the 12th edition just as good as the 13th.
Get this money, man. You gotta get this money.
Already.
But anyway, it's been some really, really good calls from Cassie to Roman to Prepaid. I have nothing. Prepaid stole a lot of my thunder though, 'cause we was thinking along the same lines, and when he said work ethic, that was the one that stuck out to me more than anything. And it kind of answers some of the questions that Cassie was kind of posturing. Because what's wrong with the college system? I think a lot of the wrong people going to college. People that it will benefit the most ain't going because, like Prepaid said, they feel like it ain't for them. Because see, I kind of classify people in pretty much 2 categories. You got thinkers and you got doers. The thinkers are the people who could just see shit in their head. The doers are the people who could do shit with their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker could take a fucking pile of scrap metal and build him a whole trailer out of it, put that shit together and start making money with that shit.
Yeah.
A thinker would be like, well, you know what? I can take these trailers. I can start hauling this equipment until I get up to a bigger truck, get that. And, he just thinks on a different level. But the really special ones are the ones who can do both. Like Roman said, Steve Jobs, how he went to school and be like, you know what? Fuck it. I got an idea. I go to my garage and build this shit myself.
No.
So he can think, he can see it, and he can do it with his hands. Those are the really, really special kind of people. So when you have those qualities, you really don't need college per se, but you do need some kind of way of educating yourself, no matter what method you decide to use. And in our community, I think we're just too fucking lazy. That's just it. We just too fucking lazy. Because I use this all the time. My little brother, let me tell you something about this nigga. This nigga got a whole iPhone, got a whole Apple Watch, and got a whole alarm clock in his room. But he refused to set it. He'd rather his dad wake up at 5:30 in the morning to get him up to go to work.
What?
How? Yes. Yes. And my stepdad does this shit every fucking morning. He wakes up at 5:30. But his old ass be up anyway.
Yeah.
But that's what my little brother does. He refuses to set an alarm clock, or refuses to set an alarm on his phone or on his watch. He'd rather his dad come in there and physically wake him up. I don't get that. I really don't get it.
You gotta get in
And Cassie, everybody's been right. If you know you're not that good at certain educational aspects, go and get you a skill, man. Get you something where you can take care of yourself. There ain't no reason where you need to be out here struggling or starving like that. There's no reason, because there's too many of these skill jobs that you could pick up from somebody else. Because a lot of these people, they think they too good for them. And when Cassie mentioned the illegal immigrants coming in and taking the jobs, who did they take them jobs from? There wasn't somebody holding that job that got fired, that they ended up taking that job. Them jobs were available because people felt like they were too good to do that. It's too hot to go work outside. I don't want to do this shit. I'm fat. I make this well known. I worked in the oil field for 10 years. I got my fat ass up every morning on 24-hour calls. Went out there in the fucking heat. Went out there in the fucking rain. Went out there in the fucking cold, wind, whatever. I did that shit every day.
Yeah.
But my little brother refused to wake up to go to work because his stomach hurt. Get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. Get out my face with that bullshit. Now, along the lines of prepaid, I'm going to touch back on that. And I'm guilty of it myself, prepaid. I'm one of them niggas who should have went to college and didn't. Because I've actually helped some people that were in college with their work, and I can do it. I just thought that I was better than that. I figured I didn't need college. I was dumb. That's just plain and simple. I was dumb. I thought that I could do better with my own intellect. I'll figure out something. And it didn't work in my favor. I probably would have been much further ahead, much quicker than where I am right now. So I agree with it. I tell people to go to school, but I also look at the people and be like, man, you know, if you are going to go to school for something that you can do. Because, and I'm going to touch on my little brother again. He tried to get this job, right? This special job at the plant. And you have to take an online test, an aptitude test. He failed the motherfucker 3 times. So he wanted me to sign in and take it for him. I don't know nothing about this job. I refused to do it. So what I did, though, I applied for it myself, and I took the test, and I missed 2 questions. I don't know shit about that job.
Yeah.
But I was able to pass it just off of common sense and common knowledge. And unlike prepaid, I'm very, very good at math. I understand polynomial and the Pythagorean theorem, et cetera, et cetera. So, no, I mean, no knock on prepaid. I get it. Everybody just ain't blessed as everybody else. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But what just prepaid, what he lacked in mathematics, he had in drive. Like he said, he struggled for a little bit, but he did not quit or let up. He kept on pushing. You don't have that a lot in these younger people. And you don't have it in the older people either. They didn't have no drive or no want to learn nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even my own T. Jones, she didn't teach me shit about credit. I sure wish she would have. Because I would have been much further ahead if I understood it and what it was about. But then I decided to go out and learn it for myself? No. And that's on me. Can't blame that on her. That's on me. So all I can do from here on out is educate the people that come after me. So they learn it a lot sooner and learn what to do and what not to do. So it just depends on what you consider an education or what you're going to try to do with yourself.
No.
All that shit is real important. And you got to figure out something. You can't just, dabble in this and dabble in that, because you end up dabbling for 20 years before you know it. 20 years then went by. You're like, what the fuck happened all this time? I really been doing this shit for this long? Yes. And you're still in the same place, pretty much the same area you were when you got out of high school. You ain't even left the city yet. You still there. So I think it's just a lot of people, it's a lack of drive, a lack of work ethic, all of that shit. And then you got people that's not a thinker and not a doer either. That's the ones that end up on government assistance.
They're just existing. But
yes. They don't know how and then don't want to know how. That's the worst of the worst. Those are the people that you just literally cannot help. You can't help them.
okay.
And then you got the other ones that's just a step above that'll do just enough to get by. Like Prepaid said, and he nailed it because one of my cousins cut hair. He ain't got shit to show for it. He don't have his own crib, his own car, nothing. And this nigga get paid cash on the daily every day, and he's good at the shit.
Yeah.
But do he own his own shop? No. Do he own his own booth? No. He's still paying somebody else.
That's tough. That's tough right there. Man, here's the deal, Professor Trill, man. I'm going to cut you short. I got to go and scoop up the Scott, man. This, they didn't hit me, told me to come pick him up, but I agree with what you're saying. And look, listen to all these calls. Y'all got me thinking about going back to school. Goddamn, I might have to call U of A and say, hey man, I got a little something for you. Let's talk about something. What can we work out? But man, I agree, man. And like you said, everybody today every call today from top to bottom was great. And I apologize that the show a little bit shorter. Yeah, but we may plan to get on this a little bit more later on. I'm gonna see, because I had a different topic planned, but it was some very good calls today, and I kind of want to kind of maybe explore it a little more. We'll see. But I appreciate you calling in, Professor Trill, Teacher's Assistant Trill. I ain't hating on Professor Trill. Hey, you know me, I can't knock anybody hustle. It's, y'all just know what it is, man.
He said if you want to study a book on the Pythagorean theorem, he got one that's $29.99, but he'll cut you the homeboy deal for $24.99.
Oh, fine. Okay, I'll take that. Cause my theorems and theories and all the rest of that shit all fucked off. Like I told y'all, I had to go back to the basics, man. I'm talking about my math was so bad. We went and got the little one some books the other day. I'm like, man, we was in Barnes and Noble. I'm like, shit, let me grab one for myself because my shit rusty. So I had to go back to the basics and shit. I ain't gonna lie to myself. Like I told y'all in high school, I had terrible math teachers. So it is what it is. I just refresh my shit. But that's a BET, man.
All right, then, Honcho.
Alright, shout out to Trill. All right, y'all, man. Yeah, but I really have seriously been thinking about it because my old lady, she's been putting in work and and she is definitely working on herself to do a lot better. Like I can't let her outdo me too bad. I can hold my own, in the argument still, but she get a little bit too educated for me. She might start mollywopping me. I don't want no plex. I'm trying to win every conversation I can. I can only use my toxic masculinity so much. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I definitely need to see what's up. And online degrees are definitely the way to go because if you motivated to do the shit, that's really what it is. And that's something I've been thinking about because I told my grandma a long time back that she's asked when I was gonna get my degree, and my personal beliefs and some other shenanigans I got into may have kind of switched that up, but I guess maybe that's a promise I could try to keep. But like I said, I got to slide up out of here. Y'all saw the stuff on the side. I gotta go get Scotty. I'll post a picture on the gram once I go get Scotty. He gonna come out this bitch strutting. Every time that nigga go get a haircut, he be strutting and shit. But I appreciate all of y'all. I thank y'all. With that being said, I'm finna slide out. I'm gonna hit the outro real quick on y'all like this. Now ain't no music, all that good stuff. We'll be live tonight, 10. We're gonna get it in. We bring back some more throwback topics from some old Kush Den days and some things like that. And then I got a lot of new topics and things to cover too. But like I say, we'll see what's shaking tonight. But I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hey man, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. And I'm finna slide up out, man. I'm gone. Appreciate it.